Milk in the fire ants. What? What? In the ants. Holy crap, I'm getting bit by so many fire ants. Good morning, everybody, from beautiful North Georgia. It's April, possibly my favorite month of the year. And today we are going to be exploring in the mountains, flipping rocks, hoping to see some snakes. And we're actually going to stay up here for a couple of days this time. So yeah, hoping to hit some spots that are normally a little bit further from home than we'd like to do on day trips, since we're going to be staying the night. And hopefully we'll find some cool stuff. So we're going to get to it. Scarlet snake. Nice. I thought it was a scarlet king. It's a scarlet snake. Holy crap. He's beautiful. Oh, wow. Well, that's kind of ridiculous. Little ant on him. But look at that. Beautiful northern scarlet snake. I thought I had a scarlet king at first, which is what we're really hoping for today, but it's cool to actually find one of these here too, because I've never seen one at this spot. Look at the head on that thing. That is nutty looking. Very nice. Great first snake of the day. We actually did see a tantilla, but I didn't get any video of it. So second snake of the day, first one I'm showing. Look at that beautiful face. Such a unique looking individual. He's also got a lot of yellow in between his bands. Look at that. Kind of a yellowy tint to the white on him. Definitely a great looking snake. A fantastic start to the trip. Well, there's not much better ways to start the day than with a scarlet snake, so I got a couple photos of him. We're just going to let him crawl back under his rock, which is not this one, but I don't think I flipped that one yet. I can't get over this thing's head. It's just so unique looking. Very, very nice. Put him back and we'll keep flipping. Hopefully we can get a scarlet king and a scarlet on the same hillside. Gonna wedge himself in there. Go on. So we're having this issue today where it's so windy that it's just not safe to be standing under all these dead trees. So we might end up having to cut things a little short today just because of that. It feels pretty good out here aside from the wind though, and I don't mind the wind as much as I just don't want a tree to fall on my head while I'm flipping rocks. King snake! Look at that! Well, that is a weird place to find a king snake. Just kind of wedged behind this bark. In fact, you could probably have seen him a little bit before I even moved it from this side. Look at that. This guy's a little bit crusty. Definitely don't think he's had his first shed of the year yet, but you can see still a pretty decent looking snake. I see a lot of king snakes in this area. Probably one of the most common places to see them flipping rocks, for me at least. So I'll just get some quick photos and we'll put him back. But pretty good day so far. We got a scarlet and an eastern king. All right, we'll let him go back behind his bark. This is a fairly young snake. I mean, most of the kings I see here are small. Since we're further north, they tend to be smaller the further north you are, bigger the further south. But yeah, two really good snakes already today. And we've still probably got a couple hours of herping ahead of us, so we'll see. As long as a tree doesn't fall on my head. You can see when the wind's blowing just how much these things are wobbling around. All right, buddy. There you go. Well, it took the better part of the day, but there's our first ringneck of the trip. Little guy hanging out right here with all these little isopods. But we'll just cover him back up. I'm sure that won't be the only one we see. All right, everyone, it's the next day. We didn't see too much else yesterday. I think we only ended up with like 3 or 4 snakes, tantilla, scarlet, king, and that little ringneck to end the day. But we're out here the next day in a nearby area that has just been absolutely ravaged by feral hogs. Hopefully the area we're trying to herp here is not going to be like this, but we'll see. Look at the size of this big guy. This is a trillium of some sort. I don't know what species. I want to say it's relic trillium, but I'm not positive. Either way, it's an outstanding wildflower. So there's the big guy over there. And then right here, we have a different species. I believe this is a bashful wake robin. And only a few minutes after getting out here, we have our first snake of the day. And its namesake, some worms. But that right there is a little, probably eastern worm snake in this area. Very, very fat. Looks like he's been feasting under this rock. He's cold to the touch. Look how pink his belly is. He looks like a worm upside down. Very cool. All right, I'll put his rock back and we'll let him go. See why Thomas calls this the blackberry spot.
Yeah.
Oh, red salamander. Look at that guy. Well, he isn't too much to look at, but that's a red salamander. You can see he had a pretty busy winter fighting other red salamanders, covered in scars. So we'll just put him back under his rock. I would not be surprised if we see a few of these today too. Oh, a corn. I thought that was a mole king for a second. Look at that thing.
Do I know how to pick them?
You do know how to pick them. Well, that's one of the most brown corn snakes I think I've ever seen. I really did not even know what I was looking at for a moment because he's just so nondescript. But if we were to flip him over, you can see that characteristic corn belly that they're named after because it looks like maize. But yeah, corn snake, next find of the day. We're off to a pretty good start. 2 snakes right off the bat. I'm still very happy to see him, so we'll let him go back under his rock here. Assuming he wants to go back under. Yeah, there he goes. Maybe. Yeah. Very nice. Look at this thick lady. There's a big black widow right there. You can see her trademark hourglass. And here's another worm snake. I'll spare you all the flip clip, since I'm sure there will be many of them today. Hopefully more exciting than that. A tantilla. Shocking. Well, there's our first tantilla of the day. Probably will not be the last. Looks like something got a hold of this guy. He's kind of torn up. Possibly our target. Another tantilla. This one's in a little better shape than the last one, but nevertheless, still something we're probably going to see many of today. Oh, rattlesnake. Really? Yeah. All right there we just spotted a timber rattlesnake. You can barely see him. Really not a great look at this thing, so I'm gonna see if I can get over there and flip that rock and we'll get a better look at him. All right, well, it's a really unfortunate angle because I'm shadowing him whenever I move, but there you go. Timber rattlesnake. All right, well, this guy's been pretty cooperative considering we messed with his rock, so I'm just gonna make sure that goes back to how I found it. We're gonna leave that guy alone, but really good start to the day with a corn, a bunch of fossorial species, and this guy, a nice timber rattlesnake from a new spot I've never seen one at. A ringneck. First ringneck of the day. Very, actually kind of big ringneck. Look at that. In due time. A ringneck. Nice rock on rock, boy. Only number 2 for the day. Tantilla. Number something. Number 3 maybe. Big tantilla. It's a nice looking tantilla. Very big like that one we saw a couple episodes ago. And nicely colored. Milk! in the fire ants. What? What? In the ants. Holy crap, I'm getting bit by so many fire ants. What even? He's getting bit by so many fire ants. Dude, what? What even? There's so many ants under there. That was crazy. I almost dropped the rock on him because I didn't even realize there could be a snake under that rock. Look at them all. Holy crap, dude. Hope I got them off good. Well, that's cool. What even? That was so weird. He's beautiful though, look at that. I'm so confused as to what he was doing under there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure I've ever been bit by that many fire ants before in my life, but it was pretty worth it. Look at that guy. It's the first time I have ever found a milk snake in a county I have found a scarlet king. That is crazy. And this thing is cool looking. Look at his head. I don't know if this guy's gonna come out as red as he is on camera. He looks really black, but it's just such a weird, cool maroon coloration. And that head is just incredible. So this was the big thing we wanted to see today, and a scarlet king if we could find one, but I don't know if we're gonna get them in the same exact habitat, although we could potentially get both today. But that is just such a beautiful little milk snake, and what a weird way to find one, just sitting in. I almost didn't even flip that rock because of all the ants coming out from under it. And then I flipped the rock just to see my target snake sitting in the middle of the ants. I quite literally had to get a handful of fire ants. Hopefully it'll come out in the video just how many ants I got bit by pulling this guy out. And it's not like sometimes you flip a rock and the snake is kind of near the ants. He was in the middle of the ants. I've never seen anything like that. So I definitely think the move is going to be to put this guy under an adjacent rock so that he does not get eaten by those fire ants. But that was just ridiculous. What a find. So I guess we're going to let this guy go, and hopefully we can find another one. Look at that belly. Such a good looking little snake. All right, so that is the Forsaken Ant Rock, and we're gonna put him under this one right here, because I know there are no ants under here, because I flipped it already. There he goes. Tantilla. Another one. A Rupert. Oh, that's a nice one. Look at that. All right, well, he's definitely quite a bit more colorful than the first one. We'll put him back. Giant Tantilla. Might be the biggest one yet. In shed. There's a shed of some kind. It's milk. See the bands for Scarlet King. I don't think it flipped. Come on. Oh, there we go. Haha. Look at that.
Nice.
Well, milk snake number 2 is just as cool, if not cooler than the last one. Look at that. That is so sick. And he wasn't sitting in fire ants, so we actually got a pretty cool flip clip of him. Look at his head. Just look at that. That is so obscene. Well, that's as good a snake as any, in my opinion. That is such a cool looking milk. 2 fantastic milk snakes. A timber rattlesnake, a corn snake, and a bunch of nice common stuff today. What are you doing, dude? Just making the rounds on my wrist? Come here. Look, he's showing us his belly. What a great snake. All right, we'll put him back and see if we can get a third. I think we're kind of running out of rocks, so I doubt that'll happen, but it's always possible. Look at this guy's red eyeballs. That is so cool. His head is definitely his best feature. He's just got like that weird line down it. I've never seen anything quite like that. All right, dude, back to your rock. Oh, corn, another one. Nice. This one's actually not in shed. Oh, look at that guy. Corn snake number 2. Very nice. Well, milk snake number 3 for the day just came flopping out of a dead tree. That is pretty ridiculous. This guy is starting to go into shed or about to come out of shed 1. So he's not looking his absolute best, but still a great looking snake. Look at that. It's kind of ridiculous how many milk snakes are in this area. I had never been out here before today. Huge shout out to Thomas for kind of putting me onto this area. I'd had it pinned forever, but I just never came out here because it doesn't really look that great. That's a pretty big milk snake too. He's probably right around 2 feet. Full-grown adult. Nice to see like a last year's baby, a yearling, and then a full-grown adult today. Great sampling of the milk snakes in this area. Super cool. We'll put him back in his tree. Hey bud, back to your tree. There's a hole. That's so cool. All right, we're heading back to the car now. It's pretty hot and we are exhausted and hungry. We didn't really have breakfast this morning and it is almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon and we've been here since 11. So anyways, I wanted to point out that there's this random puddle in the road here that is absolutely full of tadpoles. Look at all these things. Look at them. There's tons of them. Granted, this road doesn't get much traffic, but it's still kind of impressive that these guys can just live in a puddle in the road. This bigger puddle has even more. Look at this. How's it going, dudes? It's cool.